What would you do with 150,000 United States dollars? To be short and sweet, trying to come up with ideas, suffering from depression, basically want to fuck off and do something crazy for a while. Have 150,000. I'm into extreme sports, rock climbing, mountain biking, uni cycling. Up for volunteering woofing, up for taking a full solo hang gliding course. Where should I do it that is cheap and a great place to chill for a few months and meet fellow hang gliders? I enjoy long distance cycling. I like hanging out with locals. I like to travel super slow. I'm 25 and male. Looking for what other people would do given the situation. You can actually save more by buying an around the world ticket from Star Alliance. They work with various airlines and is obviously expensive up front, but in the long run it's significantly cheaper. Granted, I did this back in 2008, so maybe doing it all manually with Skiplagged or Kayak is cheaper, but hey, it's still fun to plug in your destinations and stops and see what your journey would look like. Tried it just now, 12 stops for 7,176 according to that quote. The trick is to take advantage of the system. You get a year to use and abuse your itinerary, and as long as you fly out of where you arrived, then you can mosey around the area for as long as you want. For example, land once in Europe, tramp around by train since it's cheaper, and then go back to country of arrival and depart. Same if you land in Middle East Tel Aviv and want to visit Petra, Egypt, etc.
Hey, what's up, Internet? It's your boy, Digital Danny, coming at you live from... Oh, where am I today? Oh, that's right, this tiny little beach in Bali you've probably never heard of. Just another day in paradise for me. But you're not here to hear about how I spent my morning surfing perfect waves, sipping coffee grown in the mountains of Colombia, or jumping off waterfalls in Thailand. No. You're here for something way more important. You want to know how to live like me, right? How to work from anywhere, on any beach, with any drink in your hand, and make your friends back home jealous every time you post an Insta story. Well, folks, it starts with one simple move. A move so powerful, so life-changing, it'll blow your mind. Hit that like button. Oh yeah, and don't forget to subscribe, because when you subscribe to Digital Danny, you're not just subscribing to a channel, you're subscribing to a lifestyle. The nomad life, the good life, the I make money while I'm scuba diving in the Maldives life. Let's be real, you know you want it. So go ahead and smash that like button like I smashed the best fish tacos in Mexico City last week. And hit that subscribe button harder than the Wi-Fi signal I hijacked at this beach bar. Join the Digital Danny tribe. And maybe, just maybe, I'll teach you all how to do it all while barely lifting a finger. Cheers.
You can fly to San Juan, Puerto Rico for $350. Private room with access to a kitchen from Airbnb is $150 a week. If you're there for 2 weeks, leaves you with $25 a day for food and activities. If you're cooking and eating out once a day, you can go a long way on 25. 2 choices, man. NYC for $400 for flights and a place for a week with Airbnb. Or Cancun for $400 for a week with Airbnb. Hostels are pretty expensive here, and food will be as well if you can't cook. My best answer for this, just start throwing some money into that pot of $500 every week. Whether it's $1 or $20, whatever doesn't strain you. If you can hit 1,000, you can get a pretty great trip just about anywhere. There will still be limitations, but it'll be a kick-ass trip regardless. Yes, significantly cheaper. There are restrictions, but generally very easy to use, and there are several different options, such as region-specific ticks, think Asia, Europe, South Pacific, as well as the full circle the globe fares. One big trick, and it takes some research, is to depart from locales other than popular jumping-off points, NYCL Onconcid. It will likely take a positioning flight, but the savings can make it a steal even with the positioning flights. And as previously mentioned, you have a year to use the tickets, so you could fly to ORDLHRJNBMUC, fly home, on a separate ticket, and then fly back to MUC and continue on the RTW itinerary, effectively making several vacations out of a single itin. The reason you would buy another ticket for MUC is due to restrictions on return to origin rules in the RTW. They're very flexible and you will get to sample some of the true 5-star airlines along the way, all while racking up hefty points in your home airlines program. Here's a link to the One World Alliance RTWs. If anyone has any questions, feel free to PM me and I'll answer. Help build an itinerary. That's a great plan. I'm a Londoner though, and wouldn't recommend egg at all. And none of those clubs are any good if you are in a Savile Row suit. By all means get the suit, hit up a fancy restaurant cocktail bar members club, but dress it down for the clubs. People will likely call you a twat if you rock up in a suit. 1. Move to Florida, less taxes and lower cost of living. 2. Realize it's hot as fuck and always humid. Realize that the people suck and it's actually depressing. 3. Move to Georgia, live in the Atlanta suburbs. 4. Get a job at one of the many corporate offices. 5. Plan your retirement, after 15 years with corporate, in the North Georgia mountains, where you can buy a lake house and chill with fam. 6. Profit? Dude, this guy is just taking the time to Google things. You can do this yourself, I promise. I spent 6 months backpacking in South America, planned the whole thing by myself, just have to put the time in. You're not going to find a travel agent who doesn't earn commission. I paid around $1,500 for a round-the-world set of tickets with them back in 2005. Ticket is valid for 12 months, you could change the dates as many times as you wanted. I think mine was with Star Alliance as they were the only ones going to all the places I wanted to visit. The trick is to do lots of overland segments. There's a limit for total mileage and number of stops. Overland segments count towards mileage. I had the following flights. 1. London to Rio. 2. Santiago to Easter Island. 3. Easter Island to New Zealand, layover in Tahiti. 4. New Zealand to Fiji. 5. Fiji to Brisbane. 6. Brisbane to Singapore. 7. Singapore to Bangkok. 8. Moscow to London. Obviously I had some big overland segments, but they were probably the best bits. I did spend a few months going around South America and the same traveling through SE Asia, China, Mongolia and Russia. That's what their customs website says, but that's not really true. You just need to show that you've bought a ticket and booked a hotel, get a refundable. You can refund it all after you get your visa. Make sure to get a multiple entry because you might as well since you went through the hassle of getting a visa in the first place.
All right, listen up, legends. It's your boy, Digital Danny, coming at you from, well, let's just say I'm not in my mom's basement like you. No, I'm out here in the world, crushing life, thanks to these beauties. The Apple AirPods Pro 2. Now you might be thinking, Danny, what makes these earbuds so special? Well, let me break it down for you, you tech peasants. First of all, noise cancellation is not just good, it's elite. These bad boys block out more noise than I block out haters. Crowded cafe? Gone. Crying baby on the plane? What baby? It's just you and that sweet, crisp sound, like the perfect wave hitting the shore of some exotic island, which I obviously know all about. And the fit? Oh, it's like these AirPods were custom built for my lifestyle. I slap them in for my sunrise yoga session Bali. Yeah, no big deal. Or when I'm taking calls from my offshore business partners. They're comfortable, they don't fall out. And yes, they even make me look cooler. Which I didn't think was possible, but here we are. Oh, and guess what? You're not fumbling around for a charger like your caveman friends because these charge faster than I can down a coconut cocktail. USB-C, finally. Apple's catching up to the future, and you're getting in on the ground floor with me, Digital Danny. Need a hearing test? Boom, done. Need a hearing aid? Don't worry, Gramps, they got you covered there too. These things are like a Swiss Army knife for your ears, and the only tool I don't use is that little ring thing on the side. But hey, I'm too busy globetrotting and making deals to worry about that. You know what to do, legends. Links are in the description. Pick up your Apple AirPods Pro 2 now, because let's be real, you deserve to live a little more like me. You're welcome. Links in the description. Get after it.
That's probably enough for a down payment on a building which you can then rent out and make more money even after paying the mortgage and property manager. Or you could invest it. With that kind of money, it's relatively easy to create a base to make more money and then travel for forever. Skip Phuket in Thailand, it's a shitty mainstream tourist trap. Go to Tonzai, literally rock climbing paradise, Pai, Chiang Mai, Koh Tao, etc. Go to REI and invest in 2 nice packs. One larger one for all your shit and one small medium-sized one for day trips. With that amount of money you could ball out for a couple months or literally spend multiple years on the road. Maybe a mixture of both? I spent about $12,000 on flights, travel expenses and new gear and spent 3 months between Central and South America this February through May. Didn't cut corners anywhere and stayed in private rooms for the most part. In most developing countries like most of Southeast Asia, Central and South America, etc., a budget of about $500 a week will get you comfortable accommodations, money for nice, clean food from restaurants and a few extra dollars for adventures. 800-1000 and live like a king. Not to mention all the amazing open-minded people you'll meet in hostels along the way. Buy a couple Lonely Planets, read up a little on backpacking and buy a one-way ticket to anywhere and just see where your heart takes you. Oftentimes just getting lost on the road and meeting new people exploring new things will be more fulfilling than blowing wads of cash on extravagant shit. Both leave good memories, for sure. I've done both and personally I'd rather go for time away from home and depth of experience in certain areas than number of bucket list things you can accumulate. You can still do a bunch of awesome bucket list shit for cheap depending where you are focusing your budget and time. I went bungee jumping in Costa Rica for $60. White water rafting on one of the world's top 10 routes, Pacuare River, for $100. Paragliding over the Andes in Peru for $120. You can get certified for scuba in Central or South America for about $250 to $300 and get 2 dives in a day for $60 to $100. All through well-reviewed and safe adventure businesses. Shit's just cheaper in many parts of the world, but the quality of your experience won't be any less. So yay, if you've got a bunch of money burning a hole in your pocket, just hit the road and see what happens. For me personally, hitting the road and figuring out where to go on the fly is a lot more rewarding than a pre-planned cookie-cutter type travel agenda. Also, if depression is an issue, consider going to the Amazon for some plant medicine work with ayahuasca. Many lives have been saved through medicine work and it sure beats getting doped up on Western pharmaceuticals. I'm a bot, bleep, bloop. Someone has linked to this thread from another place on Reddit. Best of you, definitely legit lol plans, in detail, a 50,000 round the world vacation for an adventuresome Redditor. Footer, if you follow any of the above links, please respect the rules of Reddit and don't vote in the other threads. Info, totes messenger, contact, message compose, totes messenger. Bot, for what it's worth, I just bought round-trip tickets to London from NYC in May for $560. So you could fly to London, stay a few nights, and come back. And I could have had a 8 to 10 hour layover in Reykjavik. Instead I opted for a 2 hours layover to spend more time in the UK. Couple added suggestions. After climbing Kilimanjaro, you can take a safari in the Serengeti Desert, as well as checking out the gorillas in northern Rwanda for about $500. Once you're done that, you can hop over to Zanzibar for a couple days to enjoy the amazing coastline. As well, in Europe there are tons of places to see, but I would personally skip over Rome entirely unless you really want to see the place. You can instead grab a train to Bari and an overnight boat to $250 for a cabin to Croatia and visit the amazing Dalmatian coast. Stay in Dubrovnik and live in the walled city featured in Game of Thrones. As well, in Greece, there is a 10-day Kontiki tour, was $1,600 when I went on it, that is priced for Kontiki travelers, but you are on a decent cruise ship, so you enjoy all those perks too. Stops included Santorini, Mykonos, etc. as well as Istanbul. I'll never forget my 10 days aboard that ship, and I still have friends from that trip. So many options, depending on what you enjoy. Great itinerary on your part. I've been to about half the places mentioned. Anyone who enjoys great scenery or extreme sports needs to go to Queensland, NZ. The place is amazing. Came here to say this. If you're a tourist and you are respectful, i.e. not being a loud idiot, not understanding some local customs you mostly get a pass on, then you're fine. If you're tall and/or clearly not Asian, you'll probably be asked to be in pictures with people. Japanese not accepting outsiders into the inner circle is much more an issue when it gets to people who actually moved there, or grew up there and are of foreign or mixed race, and attempt to integrate into the community. Being a tourist is fine. Good tip, when things around you are quiet, just try to also be quiet, trains, public transport especially. Being obnoxiously loud will make people nearby not like you, though 99% of the time they'd ever indicate that outwardly to you. For 1K you're going to be deep in Brooklyn, renting a room in a shared house with probably 6 to 8 other people or another family for around $400. 110 is go to taking the train, and from there on you're shopping at the local ethnic grocer and eating whatever they have on sale, ramen and ketchup and things. $100 a month. You're living like a king. As long as you don't need furniture, clothes, vacation or happiness. In short, a tourist trap is a city-town thing that was designed to draw in tourists to get them to spend their money. Every ball of string, every random oddball museum, etc. The town or place serves no other purpose than to act as a beacon to bring in tourists and take their money. At greater length, if you live in the US you'd think of Disney World, or south of the border, or the Corn Palace, or any of your ocean cities, Atlantic City, Ocean City, Coney Island, Myrtle Beach, Virginia Beach, Jersey Shore, Waikiki, nearly all of Oahu, or even a place like Cancun. These towns are nothing more than a series of massive hotels, bars full of drunken 20-something frat boys and sorority sisters, and shops selling useless tchotchkes and sweatshirts with the town's name on it, or sweatpants that say, "Juicy," in glitter. The beaches are overcrowded with screaming unsupervised children and morbidly obese retirees. You go there and you're met with a bunch of other obnoxious tourists with cameras. They offer a large assortment of safe adventures for tourists, like renting jet skis, bus tours, etc. You wait in line hours to play put-put, mini-golf, off the main street, or you shop in the strip malls and outlet stores that always seem to pop up nearby. Absolutely nothing about these places feels in any way authentic. Everything is pre-packaged processed corporate garbage for your consumption. They are the localized embodiment of excessive and pointless consumption. At present, because of the embargo, Cuba is still largely authentic. The food is local, the people are local, the places are owned and operated by Cubans. It's not overdeveloped. Shops don't sell China-made snow globes with a little "Cuba" sign in them at every street corner. But it's only a matter of time, maybe 5 to 10 years, until large hotel chains move in and turn it into another seaside tourist trap for all the middle-class Americans to go to for summer vacation. I think you did a fantastic job in such short time. Like I said, minor detail, but it'd be a pretty major one if Op arrived in Beijing and started wandering the streets in search of terracotta warriors is all. I'd recommend going from Beijing to Kunming, though, and from there heading to Kathmandu. Or just Chengdu to Kunming and skip Beijing. Or Dali, or Shangri-La, or Lijiang. I believe they all offer flights or travel arrangements to Nepal. To add to this, the mountain biking is awesome all across New Zealand. Some massive new trails have just opened up, and other trail networks, Craigiebrun Trails, Queenstown Trails, Hanmer Trails, Nelson Lakes National Park, West Coast. I could go on, but I'm on mobile. Also, for skiing, the best ski fields are the club fields. There are 5 in Canterbury alone, within 2 hours' drive of Christchurch. These areas are inexpensive, cover a huge amount of terrain, and are home to some of the best people in the sport.
As someone who's been around the world with nothing but a backpack and a Wi-Fi signal, I read plenty of travel books, but The Adventures of Mr. Brightside by Ryan Jacobson, now this is the real deal. Imagine living out all your travel dreams, staying in luxury penthouses one day, then stuffing your face with street scorpions the next. That's a wild ride I can respect. Jacobson's got this insane ability to make you feel like you're sitting right next to him, sipping champagne one moment, then scrambling to figure out how to survive in a hostel in the next. The guy's not afraid to get his hands dirty, and he's got the stories to prove it. But don't get me wrong, it's not the outrageous travel antics that make this book shine. It's the way Jacobson finds humor in everything, from getting hit in the face by an elephant, seriously, who does that, to losing himself in the chaos of international travel. His writing style, hilarious, relatable, and exactly what you need to keep flipping pages while planning your own escape from the 9 to 5. If you've ever wondered whether backpacker life or the baller experience is better, this book's got the answer. Spoiler, it's both, but only if you're cool enough to roll with the punches. So yeah, if you want a mix of real travel insights and laugh out loud moments, pick this up. Trust me, your next layover will thank you. Digital Danny signing off, professional wanderer, Wi-Fi whisperer, and lover of all things ridiculous. Link in the description.
Skip the Serengeti, get an EVISA to Kenya, and go to Masai Mara. Weather is a bit more mild, the drivers have a little more leeway in getting close to the animals, and there's leopards and cheetahs and lions. Or, if you don't want to get another visa, visit Ngorongoro Crater, because the animals are chill, the grass is short enough that you can see most of them, and there's black rhinos. My wife and I are headed back home to Abu Dhabi after an 11-day safari to Masai Mara, Lake Nakuru, Lake Navasha, Hell's Gate, Amboseli, Tarangire, Manyara, and Ngorongoro Crater. The Serengeti is very similar to Masai Mara, but Tanzania is a much hotter climate, so it was a bit less enjoyable due to the heat. Also, my personal experience is that most Kenyans are extremely friendly, while the Tanzanians are a bit more standoffish. Additionally, if you are an English speaker, Kenya's national language is English, taught in schools, even though the real national language is Swahili, plus the languages of the 40 tribes, so most speak English very well and are easier to understand. For the smaller pack, I highly recommend this. You can turn it inside out to use as a stuff sack for your clothes, then when you arrive somewhere pull the clothes out and use it as a day pack. I have 2 and use them for travel and in my life all the time. GT, Pyongyang. I already have this person visiting 2 communist countries, I don't know about a third. But in all seriousness, North Korea would be legit to check out. I know the tour is guided, so you see how glorious best career is, but it'd definitely be interesting. I don't think that is the case. As a US citizen, I just got a China visa and went there as a tourist for a week. For this type of crazy trip where you wouldn't know your exact schedule, just buy a refundable ticket and use that as proof for the visa. You can book a refundable hotel stay to show proof you have enough money to stay somewhere. The visa form just wants to know flights in and out where you will be staying. Print out all the info and cancel the flight and hotel, or you can send in visa application and cancel once you receive the visa. The visa is now 10-year, so it's not like you submit your travel info every time for the next 10 years. The invitation is mostly for business visas. Pretty much. When I went to New York, everyone was like, people are assholes and only care about themselves. Every single person I interacted with, even when I was asking stupid questions, was really lovely. Even the guy who tried to mug me said God bless.
Hey guys, it's Digital Danny here. If you're dreaming about breaking free from the 9-to-5 grind and exploring the world while working from your laptop, then you have to check out this amazing book, Digital Nomad, The Complete Guide to Becoming a Digital Nomad in the 21st Century by Harry Holland. This book has everything you need to kickstart your digital nomad journey. From tips on finding remote work to budgeting and living cost effectively in the coolest place like Barbados, Rome, and Phuket, it's not just a guide, it's a blueprint to freedom. And guess what? You can grab this book and millions of others for free with Kindle Unlimited. That's right, with Kindle Unlimited, you can get access to this guide and so many other life-changing reads without spending a dime. So if you're ready to design your own adventure and live life on your own terms, click the link below and get started with Kindle Unlimited today. This is your sign to start making the digital nomad lifestyle your reality. Don't wait. Start your journey now. Click the affiliate link in my description of this video.